Hello everyone, welcome to Until the End of Time. My name is Werner. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the most powerful decks possible. A lot of you asked about this in the straw poll I put up a few days ago, so I'm doing it now. This is going to be specifically focusing on a Mandy Thompson deck. There are a lot of variations possible on this deck, some of them including other investigators like Min, but my goal here it really isn't to show the absolute best deck, but rather to show how a very powerful deck can perform. There might be better variations possible. I also didn't want to showcase True Solo because I think that limits your investigator options too much. So I've brought a second deck, this one running Tommy Muldoon. This deck is explicitly not perfectly optimized, and that's because I wanted to showcase kind of the difference between the very overpowered Mandy deck and the somewhat averagely balanced Tommy deck. This deck isn't bad, but it isn't perfect either. I will be playing through the Depths of Yoth scenario in standalone rules. For those of you who haven't played it, normally you would be going down these procedurally generated depths or floors basically, and your goal would normally be to get to depth 5. In standalone, however, the scenario is unwinnable, or rather it is endless. You can keep going until everybody's dead. It's also called the How Low Can You Go challenge for that reason, and it is a thing that the community has done at events and stuff before. So I figured that would be a good metric to see how powerful someone like Mandy could be. So yeah, let's give this a shot. I've got a stick to the plan, because these decks do have XP, the lists are in the description as normal. Tommy's running 19 XP and Mandy's actually running only 9 XP because additional weaknesses in her deck would be more detrimental than normal. So let me just get the Ever Vigilant and the Dynamite Blast. I should be talking away from the mic. And there should be a stick or a Prepared for the Worst as well. Okay, so for those of you who haven't played with Stick to the Plan before, it is a permanent and exceptional card. It costs 6 XP and you can only have one of them. But before you draw your opening hand, you can search your deck for 3 tactic and or supply events and attach them to Stick to the Plan. And then you can play those cards to Stick to the Plan, but you can only play one of them per turn because you have to exhaust the Stick to the Plan. And I've got a pretty reasonable Stick to the Plan setup here. Prepared for the Worst lets you search for a weapon. Obviously Mandy would potentially boost this search, though we're probably not using it for that because we've got better search to boost. But you should make sure we have a weapon early, and it can also help Tommy find his signature gun, Backy. Ever Vigilant lets us play 3 assets with a 1 cost reduction and for single action, which is very good. This is probably one of the best cards to stick to the plan, just because it makes your setup so much easier. And then we got a Dynamite Blast just in case, sometimes something needs to get Dynamite Blasted. Okay, well, let's give this a shot. So starting with Mandy, what are we looking for in our opening hand? Well, not this, although maybe this. We're looking for Rook first and foremost. I mean, Rook is super powerful with Mandy because her ability lets you search for 2 cards with Rook. 9 deep. Her weakness does hurt Rook a bit. We'll talk about that when it shows up. But basically, we would love to have Rook in our opening hand. Now, we did get 2 copies of Easy Mark, which I'm therefore keeping both copies. Which is a myriad card from the Dream Eaters that you can play it, you get 2 resources and draw a card, but you can then play another Easy Mark from your hand if you have it. There's 3 copies in the deck. So basically, this allows you to now, for 1 action, draw 2 cards and gain 4 resources. I'm thinking about a Pathfinder. So the thing is, we start with only a single location in play and have to explore to find additional locations, and we can only explore when there are no clues on our location. So it's not super useful, and I think I'd rather just have 1 more card. Normally, when I'm playing Mandy, I'll have 2 copies of the permanent card Studious. Ooh, that's a bad. Oh, this went very poorly. Okay. 2 copies of the permanent card Studious, which lets you draw additional cards in your opening hand. However, because of standalone rules, I couldn't do that and have a reasonable amount of XP in my deck, so we're losing out on those. We actually drew a very bad opening hand. We drew 2 copies of Stunning Revelation, which are research cards. They cannot be played, and when we search our deck and find them, then we get to do awesome stuff with them. This was basically the worst cards we could have drawn right here. We did find 1 Practice Made Perfect, but let's just search for a skill, but presumably that's going to fizzle against our weakness or something that's going to happen. So yeah, this is, well, we're going to see if Mandy's still awesome when her opening hand is terrible. Okay. Over on Tommy's side, we've got Spiritual Resolve, which is a new card from the end of Dream Readers, from Weaver of the Cosmos. It is just a 3-cost asset. It does have Myriad, so you're only paying like 2 XP for each of these, because it's a 5 XP card, but you get 3 copies. It has 3 health, 3 sanity soak, and we can discard copies to heal. In Tommy, I don't think you want to heal, you just want to use them to get lots of money or ammo on his gun. We've got a Spiritual Vow. This card has really impressed me. When I first saw it, I thought it wasn't going to do anything, but turns out being able to move damage and horror around, real good. Getting this in opening hand is amazing. Well, we don't need the Keepsake if we have the Spiritual Resolve. We don't really... maybe we keep the Take Heart. We have an Intellect of 3 and Agility of 2. We could try to get some stats there. No. I think I'd rather just have a gun or something. Oh, those don't go there. Okay, well, we ended up with 2 weapons and a beat cup. So that could be way worse. I have to do the old Guardian math with Ever Vigilant. So this would be 2 resources, 2 resources, 3 resources. So we would need 2 additional resources to play all this. We could alternatively... So Ever Vigilant gives every card a 1 cost reduction. We could play the Survival Knife, the Enchanted Blade, and Spiritual Resolve in one go. That gives us 2 weapons, so something in case we have to discard an asset or something, and some extra soak. Yeah, that seems good. Okay, well, let's see where we're starting. Starting in the Caverns of Yoth, which is a 1 shroud location. Okay, and we get an extra clue because we start at depth 1. This could be worse. Okay. And the way this works is we have a explore deck with 4 other locations and the Step to Yoth, I believe it's called. When we find that place, we have to find 6 clues, then get there. We can advance from there, and then we reset to 4 new locations out of a possible 9, I believe, 8 or 9, and then the steps again. So we basically keep going down. Well, this sure is interesting. Let's start with Tommy because it's easy. Exhaust stick to the plan, so we can play one of the attached events. We're going to play Ever Vigilant, play Enchanted Blade, Survival Knife, and Spiritual Resolve. So there's a part of me that's wanted to go action, resource, and then play the beat cup instead of the Survival Knife. But I think this is better. Anyway, we're also going to stick this Solemn Vow on Mandy. Let's put it over here. And it exhausts to move a damage roller from Mandy to Tommy or one of his cards. Well, we don't actually have any actions left, and or we have 2 actions left rather, and there's only a 1-shot location, so we're just gonna try for some clues. Difficulty tokens aren't that bad yet, so well, tokens are pretty bad here. And okay, well, we got 1 clue off of it. Excellent. I don't think I should be grabbing resources here because the resolve hopefully just dies, and then using Tommy's ability we can get enough money to pay for the beat cup and just kind of cycle through those. But we'll see. Mandy. First up, I think I'm gonna start with the easy marks. Okay. Okay, that was both awful. So the Segment of Onyx lets us assemble the Pendant of the Queen. If we get all 3 copies, which is one of the most powerful things you can do in this deck, or rather repeatedly doing that is very powerful. But we don't want to just draw a spare copy here when we don't have our good searches. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a risk, but I have to take it because our opening hand is so bad. I'm going to investigate, and I'm going to play Practice Makes Perfect. Search the top 9 cards from our deck for a practice skill committed to this test. If able, shuffle the remaining cards back into the deck. After the test ends, we can add the skills to our hand. And we're going to use Mandy's ability to find an additional card here. So if we hit our weakness here, we could potentially draw an enemy, and that would be a very bad start. However, if we don't draw our weakness, we might draw Perceptions or Deductions, which are cards we really, really need, especially Perceptions because it gives us more card draw. So top 9, we do hit our weakness. Let's pray we don't hit an enemy. Or we hit a Pit Warden, which I believe goes into the... Okay, we got literally the worst card possible. Ah, great. Seems the scenario is really intent on not making me show you how good this deck gets. Last action will evade. We do actually evade. Excellent. Guess Tommy's gonna have to kill it then. Okay, upkeep. Draw a card. Draw a card. Oh, I should have also decided who engages this, but it should be Tommy, obviously. Mythos. First Doom. I'm using the standalone rules by which I have 5 vengeance points, which means I start with every agenda. If you haven't played this campaign before, basically during the entire campaign you'll be recording what is known as Yix Fury. And if you have a certain amount of Yix Fury, you'll end up having to remove agendas. If you have 0 Yix Fury, you actually get to make the scenario significantly easier. But we ended up with the standalone rules, which basically just the perfect middle. Okay, Gunner cards. Ancestral Fear. So this is a very interesting card in this scenario because the locations can leave play. But I think in this case I am just going to put it in the victory display. Because I don't think I'll be able to clear, with how bad a start we got, I don't think we'll be able to clear this entire floor before the Doom is going to cause us to advance early. And I don't think, basically it would go into the discard pile. We'll probably see it again. So yeah, we'll just get it out of the way now. Okay. No more than 1 clue may be discovered from each location by each investigator each round. So this is basically shutting down the multi-clue effects. This is off to a terrible start. Okay, let's see what Tommy gets. Lightning Shadow. This is an agility test, where if we fail we take 2 damage. Well, we actively don't care about taking damage, and it is a difficulty 2 agility test, which we're actually tied on. -1, we fail, we take 2 damage. And put that damage on the Spiritual Resolve. Check it out. Okay. So, awkwardly, we need to kill this snake. We also really want to get a clue here with Tommy and with Mandy so we can at least start exploring. Okay, I'm gonna start by fighting with the Enchanted Blade, spending a charge, which this is basically new machete. We get +1 combat by default and we get an additional +1 if we spend a charge. Tablet token. We reveal another token, and if we fail, we place 1 clue on our location. We really don't want to fail now. Luckily, we are up by 3 at the moment. And we draw -3. So we're fine. This thing does get +1 fight from every vengeance point, but there's only 1 vengeance point. So it is, well, it isn't killed, but it takes 2 damage. Then I'll just stab it with either weapon, really. I'm actually tempted to take an attack of opportunity here, playing the Beat Cop instead. Because I have 2 actions left. The attack could go on the Spiritual Resolve, which would kill the Spiritual Resolve. And then I could get 4 resources, allowing me to play Beat Cop. I don't believe I'm allowed to play the Beat Cop if I don't have the money yet. Though I would have to double check that. I'm just going to stab him. I am not going to stab him. I will attempt to stab him again for a 3rd time. Skull. Skulls are -1 because it's the current death level. That's dealt with. Awkwardly, this now means we can't leave here. This has gone very poorly so far. Mandy's just gonna draw a card. Okay. That's something, I suppose. No, just gonna keep drawing. Okay, also awful. We have literally every card that we don't need right now. I'm gonna grab a clue here. Actually, do I need to? So the thing is, if I don't grab the clue here, I'm potentially hitting another Deep Dark. Like, another Deep Dark would be catastrophic at that point. On the other hand, yeah, no, we're just gonna play it safe. The thing is that, like, we have deductions and stuff in our deck, so having 2 clues on location isn't too bad. I'm actually only gonna commit 1 of these because I'm already high enough. Investigate, succeed, get a clue. Stunning Revelation, we want them in our discard pile right now because we want to, once we start looping our deck, we want to get them back. Alrighty. Let's go to the upkeep again. Card. Oh, there's a deduction. Gain those resources. Discard Deep Dark. Mythos Phase. Okay, so normally you would already have cleared a level by now, but unfortunately, Mandy getting completely hit. Okay, so this is the equivalent to that other card. This is now a Willpower 2 test. If we fail, we take 2 horror. We don't really care. We actually pass, so that's fine. Same test. We don't pass. But that's also fine because it means we can put 2 horror on our here to resolve. And now when this thing dies, it's probably going to give us 5 or 6 resources, which is pretty good. Okay, Mandy Thompson. Investigate. Committing this astounding revelation. Succeed. Get a clue. Explore. So we're looking for one of those icons at the bottom. There's a lot of connections in this scenario, but that's not one of them. Also, it's worth pointing out there are no treacheries in this Explore deck. If you played TFA but haven't played this scenario yet, this is the only time I believe there are no treacheries in the Exploration deck. Okay, so this is now a 3-shroud location. We're over here now. I'm going to just use marker to do the connections because they get kind of crazy. These are connected. So yeah, it's a 2-shroud location or 3-shroud location with 2 clues. We're going to last action investigate. We're going to use practice make perfect again and search for 2 cards again. Okay. Well, let's see. We found perception. We also found 3 aces, and we actually have a copy of 3 aces in our hand. So we could find both copies of 3 aces and then commit the 3rd copy from our hand. In which case, we get to automatically succeed here. Kind of counted on this being a deduction test, but like the thing with 3 aces, so if you haven't played with this yet, if you commit all 3 copies, test automatically succeeds, and you draw 3 cards and gain 3 resources. Now, if we do this, the awkward thing is we end up with 2 copies of 3 aces in our hand and 1 in our discard pile, so the cards are useless until we loop our deck. But then again, this is already going pretty awful, and I feel like, you know, go big or go home is kind of the way I want to do this. So yes, and no, we don't have to find any weaknesses because this is not a research. Though I almost did that on accident. So we're going to commit all of these and deduction. We don't have to reveal a chaos token. So we are automatically successful. Get these 2 clues. Okay, this is like entry tier Mandy power, but it's better than nothing. Draw 3 cards, gain 3 resources, get 2 of these back in my hand, get this in the bin, and our turn. Okay, so things are already looking up a bit better. We have a lot of money and we have a couple of really good assets that if we can get them in play and keep using them. The Dream Enhancing Serum you might have already seen in Harvey's gameplay. It messes with your hand size basically and lets you draw extra cards if you have multiples of cards. I mean, right now, Mandy's hand is a bit awkward, but maybe things will get better. Anyway, let's see, where am I going to start exploring with Tommy? Let's go explore from here. So we're looking for the steps, which is the leftmost icon on this card. It's the green background with the 2 stripes. The thing is that I don't necessarily want to go straight there because I still have 2 additional clues I need to actually fulfill our objective, which is spend 6 clues at the steps of Yoth. Not actually steps to Yoth, it's steps of Yoth. So we're just going to explore from here, and it's the steps. Well, you can't go there. We can't go here. We can go here. Interesting. And notably, these are both connected to each other. So, time to draw some lines. Alright, let's see what this does. I seem to see a forced effect. Forced, after you enter Bright Canyon, if you're poisoned, take 1 damage. And action, check your supplies. If you have binoculars, discover 2 clues here. Okay, well, awkwardly, when you're playing standalone, you don't have any supplies. So, no, but we do get here, and we have found a location with lots of clues, which is good for Mandy. Notably, this location also isn't connected to the steps. So, gotta keep that in mind. I think I want to just draw a card and maybe move. Okay, we found a guard dog. That's good. Allies are good. Yeah, we're just going to move over to Mandy. Okay, upkeep. I believe we are over hand size. Yeah, we are 1 card over hand size. Do I chuck the 3 aces or something else? I think we can afford to chuck the correct case since we have enough money for now and we'll get it back later. Okay. More soak. Advance. City of the Damned. The serpent's ruins are ancient, decrepit, and devoid of life. Nearly all of their structures have collapsed, but evidence of their great cities remain, along with statues and idols of their gods. This realm must have been abandoned long ago. Find the enemy that is in pursuit with the highest evade value and spawn at the location where the investigators began at this depth level. So this is a thing I haven't explained yet because it hasn't come up yet, but enemies in this scenario can enter an area known as the pursuit area, and when they do, basically they're the level above you and they're running after you. I'll place them over here, but right now we have no enemies in pursuit, so that does nothing, and we enter horrific descent. Hisses begin to emanate from the tunnels all around you. Snake eyes glare at you from the dark as you attempt to avoid encountering the creatures that remain in this realm. You weave in and out of narrow tunnels and hide behind broken down walls and crumbling pillars. 3 doom again. And let's keep going. Encounter card. Sorry if I'm not... okay, we got an enemy. Sorry if I'm not going as deep on the encounter cards as normal, by the way. I kind of want to focus on the decks rather than the... Okay, so this is Pit Warden. If Yig is in play, that's bad. Spawn Pit Warden at Yig's location, otherwise place Pit Warden in the pursuit area. So this enemy doesn't actually spawn right now, it goes into the pursuit area. But when another effect pulls an enemy from the pursuit area, this is a nasty, nasty enemy. 4 fight, 4 health, 1 evade. Can be pretty nasty. Meanwhile, Mandy got a Fang of Yig, which basically shuts you down if you're poisoned. Luckily, neither of us are poisoned. So hopefully we'll be able to make do. Tommy is going to go first, obviously, because he wants to take care of those enemies. Yeah, tempted to throw in the stunning blow, but I'll save that for later. Attack with the enchanted blade. 6 versus 3. Hit again. It is 6 versus 3, right? Yeah, he has base combat form. Okay. Just making sure I'm not cheating. Actually, hold on. He stays right there. I just said I wasn't committing it. And now I have to make a somewhat tricky choice, but I think I'm just going to stab and commit daring. The enemy now has retaliate and alert for the duration of the skill test. After the test ends, I draw a card, but it has 3 world icons. So stabbing, I hit. And so the thing with daring is like the retaliate and alert only matter if you miss, so don't miss. And oh, we drew a stubborn detective. All of our text boxes are blank for the duration of the Stubborn Detective's survival, which isn't going to be very long, because we have 1 more action. And we kill him. Excellent. MVP goes to Tommy so far, which is not what I meant to do with this game, but here we are. Well, I mean, it's Mandy's turn now. Time to actually start showing off what we can do. Play Pathfinder. We can get a free move every turn. So let's move. Still not poisoned, so no worries there. Let's investigate. Actually, wait. Do I play Dream? Yeah, I'll play the Dream Enhancing Serum first, so I don't have a bigger hand size, and I might get a free draw out of Perception. Then I'll investigate, commit Perception, commit Deduction, Cultist token, reveal another token. If we fail, every serpent enemy starts healing. Oh, we have to reveal another token. Oh well. Okay, we reveal the 0. We get 2 clues from the deduction. Why is my... Okay. And then we draw a card for Perception. Oh, we draw a Mandy's signature, Occult Evidence, which is not a card we really want to draw. We want to search for it instead. But yeah, it's not the worst to hit here. At least we can always shuffle this back into our deck if we want to. Proceed to upkeep. It's another Dream Enhancing Serum. Kind of useless right now. It's another Stunning Blow. Really hope Mandy draws her signature soon, or her, what's it called? Sorry, Rook soon. I keep thinking of Rook as Mandy's signature, but that's not the case. Okay. Not being able to move or explore would actually be kind of bad here. I'll commit the spare Dream Enhancing Serum. And we draw an autofill. Okie dokie. I see how this is going, game. So for the remainder of the turn, we cannot move, we cannot explore, and we just took 3 horror. Hey Tommy, get over here. I've got a gift for you. It's another pit board. Okay. Well, Mandy's stuck in place, so she's gonna draw. Finally. Okay. Second action. Play Rook. Time to get crazy. activate Rook, searching for 9 cards with, searching through 9 cards for 2 targets. We have to find the tower because it's one of our weaknesses and we drew it, or we found it. I will find a segment of Onyx. I will find an Astounding Revelation, and I will find a Cryptic Research. So Astounding Revelation is a research card. Let's make sure to do all this proper. Everything into the hand and then we'll resolve. So Astounding Revelation is a research card. We trigger it, we can either get 2 resources, which is not something we need right now, or we can put a secret back. Well, as it happens, Rook uses secrets, so we'll put a secret on Rook. We also found a 3rd segment of Onyx, which means that we draw a card with Dreamnautic Serum. You can now start seeing how broken this can get, right? We can pick cards specifically to trigger Dreamnautic Serum, draw extra cards. We just drew a Cryptic Research, which can let us draw 3 cards. Time to start going crazy. But we're not going to go crazy just yet. I could pick up a clue here. I don't actually need any more clues, so instead I'm just going to spend 4 resources to play the tower, which is actually a very good weakness in Mandy. So while this is in your hand, we cannot commit skill cards to test. Cannot commit cards at all to skill tests, and it is a 4-cost asset, which is pretty nasty. However, it does go into play and stays there for as long as you want. And in case of Mandy, that means that we now only have a single weakness in our deck. It is the signature Shocking Revelation. Don't actually remember what it's called. Shocking Discovery. It's this one, the one that draws an encounter card and cancels our search. So from now on, as soon as we've hit that one, we know we don't have any weaknesses left in our deck. We can just do whatever we want. That was our last action, though. Awkwardly, I'm not quite sure what to do with Tommy at the moment. Perfectly, like, we want to advance next turn. So we need to make sure that there's a location we can... yeah, I think optimally... Yeah, I'm going to explore first. And I fight the Broken Passage. I think that's connecting, hold on. Yes, it is, okay. Broken Passage. While you explore at the Broken Passage, if you don't have a pickups, place a Doom on the Broken Passage. This is really nasty in standalone specifically, because you'll never have a pickaxe. In most other situations, I usually find bringing 1 pickaxe is fine. Not today, it seems. I believe this is correct. It's connected to here. Yeah, okay. Well, Tommy's over here now. But I think Tommy's just going to move back and explore again, because we have 2 locations left in the deck, and one of them is unreachable from here, because it's the blue card. It's the blue triangle. Oh, you can only get that from the Red Canyon on this level. And the other is the destination. So, nope. Yes, we found the steps to Yoff, which is the only place we can... And the reason... So now, Tommy's already here. Maybe not the best. I would have liked there to be there and also get a horror from Mandy with the Solemn Vow, but I think she'll survive for another turn or so. And this at least means that once Mandy gets over here, we can advance whenever we want to next turn. Okay, upkeep. Draw a card. Nope, we don't have any hand size issues because these 3 cards don't count. All the duplicates don't count thanks to Dream Enhancing Serum. We should get a resource. And this gets discarded. Okay, Mythos. We've hit a rough start, but we might be able to pull through here. Okay, all the snakes are tougher. There are no snakes currently in play. This is going to be... Oh, okay. And this is actually kind of nasty. So, Curse of Yig gives -1 combat, -1 health, and you have the Serpent trait randomly, which doesn't do anything in this game, though notably there's a Return to Forgotten Age coming soon. Maybe it'll start doing something later. Anyway, you can test Willpower too, but it gets +1 difficulty for every Vengeance point, so it is already a difficulty 3 test because of that Ancestral Fear we got earlier. Pretty nasty. Luckily, it's not like Tommy has a lot of other things to be doing right now. Well, I mean, playing assets, I guess. Speaking of which, I think I'm just going to let Tommy go first. Play a Guard Dog. Play a Keepsake. And try this test, I guess. Even. Not the greatest place to be. Nope. Not happening. Okay, then for Mandy. Going to, yes, Pathfinder over here. We don't need more clues, so I'm not going to bother getting any. I'm trying to think. I should, because I've got a lot of actions left. I got some actionless stuff as well, but I'm a little broke at the moment. I don't have a lot of money, which is not usually a problem Mandy runs into. Just move here, and I'll play cryptic research targeting myself, so I get to draw 3 cards. Excellent. That's much better. Let's see, none of those were duplicates, so we don't get to do anything. And then we are going to last action. Oh, wait, hold on. That wasn't an action, of course. Then we're gonna rook, which is also not an action. Searching. Oh, it almost feels like insulting. Is there some way I can draw 3 cards real quick? There probably is. Actually, yeah. Okay, so second action. This is part of why this deck is a bit problematic. Is it takes a lot of thinking to get the plays right. So I'm going to second action, try to clear the curse again. I'll commit Eureka and also commit the spare rook. No, I don't want the tokens yet. Succeed. Search the top 3. I won't trigger Mandy's ability, by the way. Okay, so we know what's in the bottom cards. There's a easy mark and a Eureka in a random order. And we get rid of this. It's important. We have a magnifying glass, which is great. You can put that into play for fast. And last action, we'll shuffle occult evidence into our deck. That's maybe not the greatest. I mean, obviously, if we hit occult evidence as our draw, that's a way to draw. But if we don't hit it, then next turn we can start our turn by searching and immediately get it back. Or immediately hit it, thereby getting a free clue. Okay, upkeep. If that didn't make sense, by the way, I'll show it in a minute. It's just a bit tricky. Okay, so we can now advance. And in the round, if you possess the requisite number of clues, you may advance. Well, we do. We have 6 clues. And then the following happens. Add 1 resource to the current depth level. This is the same depth level, it's just on multiple places. If the current depth level is higher than 5, or 5 or higher rather, and you are playing campaign mode, go to R2. No. Otherwise, perform the following. Each investigator who is not at the step of Yov is left behind and defeated. Each surviving investigator loses each of his or her clues. Each enemy in play is moved to the pursuit area. Remove all doom from location in play. Set each location in play and the exploration deck aside, out of play. Investigator is not defeated during this process. Draw a random set-aside location other than Steps of Yov, put it into play, and place each surviving investigator at that location. Create a new exploration deck containing Steps of Yov and 4 other random set-aside locations. Shuffle the exploration deck. Flip this deck back over, journey as deep as you can. Now, because of the way Tabletop Simulator can be a little bit funky, I'm actually going to do that off screen for a moment, and I'll be back with you in this flash. And I'm back. The reason I'm doing this is because Tabletop Simulator spawns in the clues whenever you place a location for the first time. So when you shuffle it back into your deck and do stuff like that, you might end up, having to place a lot of clues manual. What I just did is clone a new copy of the exploration deck, or rather, some set-aside locations, and it works a lot easier. And I didn't want to just have you guys waiting a whole bunch of time. So next time, whenever I advance, I'll just do that off screen again. We spawned at the City of the Serpents, 3 Shroud, 2 clues. When it has no clues on it, it is considered to be in the victory display, and it has Vengeance 2. This is a bad place to start. Vengeance is pretty nasty, especially since we already have 1 Vengeance, because we have an Elder Thing in the bag that is an automatic failure if you have 3 or more Vengeance points. So for essentially the duration of this floor, we will have an extra autofill in the bag. I should also real quick check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, Mandy is not exceeding her head size. Now we advance. The Fountain of Venom. You pass through a cracked earthen clearing that once might have been a plaza. Standing half collapsed in the center of the plaza are the remains of a stone fountain, dry as a bone. At the very bottom of the fountain's basin is a glob of black syrupy ooze. Well, we immediately spawn one of the fangs of one of the pit wardens. It's gonna go engage with Tommy probably. And then we can choose to bring the liquid, but we don't have a canteen because we don't have any supplies. So no. Next agenda is for Doom. You are convinced of it now. These caverns are without end. They must spawn the entirety of the subterranean layer of the earth. Will you ever reach the Nexus? Will you ever make it home? No, we'll die here. Children, oh, so the snake now has +1 fight and +1 evade. And Deep Dark, we can only get 1 clue here. That's awkward. That means that we can't start exploring, because again, we can only explore when the location doesn't have any clues in it. Unless Tommy can somehow get a clue, which he might be able to. So yeah, let's start with Tommy. He's going to stab with a survival knife and commit a stunning blow. Stunning blow, if we hit, we automatically evade the enemy. We do hit, which is nice, because this would be a bit of a problem otherwise. He gets 1 damage on him from the knife. Well, second action, we're going to investigate. Oh, we actually succeed. I was expecting that to fail and have to lucky, but no, we actually just straight up got a clue. Awesome. Great job, Tommy. Well, for our last trick... oh, we should actually ask Mandy to move one of her horrors over. You know what? She's just going to move the horror straight onto the spiritual resolve, which I know is a waste of 1 resource, potentially, but it does give us 5 resources right now. So what I'm doing is Tommy's reaction, when asset you control is defeated, gain X resources, where X was the total amount of damage on that asset. Shuffle the asset into your deck. So we did that, and the reason I'm doing that now is because then I can last action play Beat Cop. We have a charisma, so we get to have 2 allies in play. I think this Beat Cop might be relevant if I have to kill the Pit Warden. And even if I don't have to, you know, a bit of damage on tap and extra combat is never bad. Okay, over to Mandy. Time to get a little serious. First up, we want to search before we do anything else, because we have a automatic thing. We prefer not to search with Rook, but I don't think we have a choice here, unless we just want to are okay with drawing the 2 cards. But no. So we're gonna search with Rook. We're just gonna search search 3 cards, I guess, finding 2 or finding. Oh no, we're not activating Mandy's ability. So we will find the occult evidence. When we search and we find it, we draw a card. Or sorry, we don't draw a card. We draw it, and we get the clue here. Excellent. We also find a Eureka, which we might be able to use for her ability later. We should not forget to pick up that clue, actually. Well, we're now out of deck, which is actually perfectly fine. We also cleared this location, and it has Shroud 3, so we're just going to play Crack the Case and get some money. Excellent. First action, explore. We have a new explore deck. There's the steps, which we actually are connected to, so we'll head straight over there. Not exactly where we want to be, actually. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I haven't actually checked, but I believe these are worse locations, right? Like the location furthest away from the steps tend to be the one that's that are the least harmful. So I'm actually just going to Pathfinder back here and explore again. Hoping for something with clues on it. Broken passage, is that connecting? It is not, so we get to try again. This is connecting. It's not connected to the steps of the off though. It is the forked path. And it reads, forced, when you explore while at the forked path, check your supplies. If you have a map, well, we can stop reading there. We don't have a map, and we will not have a map at any point. I'm going to investigate. Last action, I'm going to commit perception and Eureka. I am aware I have the segments of Onyx, but there's no reason to play them now. So I'm just going to keep them in hand for the time being. Succeed. I'll trigger Perception first, so I'll draw a card. This triggers a couple of effects because I ran out of deck, so I'll shuffle, then draw, and then take 1 horror. Goes on Rook. Drew a Dream Enhancing Serum, that's fine. We actually probably will play that at some point. Then we'll use Eureka. We're going to search 6 cards using Mandy's ability. We have not hit any weaknesses or anything, so we'll just be using this Astounding Revelation to put a resource back on Rook. And we will find, let's see, this Easy Mark. Then we're going to actually exhaust Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card, because we drew a card we already had a copy of. Excellent. We found a Practice Makes Perfect. We might have to play these just to clear up hand space, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're actually fine on that front. And we'll get 1 clue here. Yeah, seemed like a reasonably effective turn. Yeah, there's part of me that wants to grab the segments now, but I don't think there's any use in it. So no, we'll just keep those there for safekeeping. Well, that was both of them, so let's go to upkeep. Big Snack wakes up, gets angry at Tony. Not Tony, Tommy, sorry. I've been playing a lot of Tony because I like rogues, but it is actually Tommy. Draw another Crack the Case, excellent, more money. And Rookie Mistake, ooh, oh, no, actually pretty good. So Rookie Mistake, we discard every asset we control with damage and horror or horror on it. If no assets are discarded, we shuffle it back into our deck. So in this case, it's just a shuffle. This can be terrifying, but it actually ended up being pretty okay. These are both discarded, and we go to the Mythos phase. 1 doom out of 4, and counter. Low on supplies. We either lose 2 resources, take a damage, or discard an asset we control. I think 1 damage is pretty negligible here. Resources are actually kind of a slim commodity at the moment, so yeah, we'll take a damage both. Obviously, Tommy not really afraid of damage in any way. And it's not like Mandy can't give it to him later. Okay, another Curse of Yig. Don't really want to kill the Pit Warden anyway, because it has Vengeance. But we got a second Stunning Blow, so we probably won't have to. We also have these pendants, or have the pendant, which I've been talking about a bit, so yeah, I think it's time to show that off. Actually, I'm going to do something first. So Mandy is going to start. She's going to start by using Rook. Searching 9 deep. This is probably going to get cancelled because of her weakness. 9 deep, find 2 cards. We did find our weakness, so we can ignore everything else. Which means we cancel the search and draw an encounter card. It is Ancestral Fear. That's annoying. How are we doing on Doom? Oh, we actually just... Yeah, we'll put a Doom on this location and discard it. I think we can probably advance... we might even be able to advance this turn, though that might be a little tricky. We definitely can advance next turn. It did surge, so we have to draw another one. Deep Dark. Forget what I just said. We probably won't be able to advance. That card is such a bother for me. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's get on over to the pendant, which I have to grab real quick. So there we go. Here's the pendant. So I'm going to spend 3 resources playing 3 copies of Segment of Onyx. Each of them being fast and costing 1 resource. When all 3 of them are in play, we can set them aside out of play to put the Pendant of the Queen into play. She comes into play with 3 charges. If the card has no charges, we set it aside and we shuffle the 3 copies of Segment of Onyx into our deck. So we can find it again. And then we can spend exhaust the pendant to do one of the following things, spending 1 charge. We either move to any location that is revealed, discover 1 clue at any location that is revealed, or automatically evade any enemy at that location, which includes elite enemies. That's busted, and I hope it gets tabooed. But yeah, this card is not okay. We'll be using it extensively during this game, because as you can imagine, putting the segments back into our deck means we can just grab it immediately, basically. No, we haven't actually taken any actions yet. We should probably do that. So I'm wondering, I think I'm just gonna investigate here first. So the problem is that deductions are again useless because of Deep Dark. So thanks for that. So maybe we start by exploring somewhere else. We can always pick up a clue here with the pendant anyway. So yes, we're gonna Pathfinder over here. We're gonna use Solemn Vow to give one of our damages to Tommy, sorry, putting it on the guard dog. We're gonna explore. Find the yellow one, but that's not connected, so no. Find this one, also not connected. Oh, don't tell me we whiffed. We whiffed. Okay, so there's no locations in the game that are, or no location in the deck that are connected anymore. We found the two that are, which is a little awkward because we lost an action on that, which is at this point pretty valuable commodity. So yeah, I'm gonna have to decide how I want to go. I think I'm gonna, yeah, second action, we'll play Eevee Mark. Get us 2 resources and a card. Oh, that's not the card you want to draw though, that's the card you want to search for. Okay, we found a deduction, which is still useless. Then for my third action, I'm going to play Pathfinder. Going to take a free move. And going to spend a pendant charge to pick up a clue here. So remember, we can use that pendant from anywhere to pick up clues anywhere, but at the moment we're in a little bit of an awkward spot where I want to be here and also want to explore from. I guess I could move here and explore from, get the clue there. So yeah, I'll do that instead. So we're at the steps of Yoff and we just still use the pendant's ability to pick the location here, the fork path, to grab a clue there. Now, over to Tommy. We'll just throw a stunning blow with the Survival Knife Stab. -2, that should suffice. We do get a -1 from here, but we get a +1 from here, +1 from here, so that's no problem. Exhausting it. Yeah, so I'm gonna move Tommy over here, and I'm gonna explore. We know, actually, neither of these locations are in the deck. Oh wait, no, the orange one is. Yeah, that one is. Why did that not spawn any clues? Hello. Please spawn clues. Thank you. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, it gets additional Shroud equal to your Vengeance points. Okay. Because on Shroud, for every Vengeance point, there's currently 1. Actually, no, sorry, there's currently 3 because of the City of Serpents. So the chances of Tommy getting a clue at a 5-shroud location are negligible. He's also out of action, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Upkeep, Snake readies, Deep Dark gets discarded at somewhere along the way. Ready all these cards. Draw a card. We get to draw an additional card. Excellent, we can 3 aces again whenever we want. And the Mythos phase. Doom, so we're up to 3 Doom out of 4. Luckily we have 1 more Doom this round. Or this agenda rather. And we only need 2 more clues. Shouldn't be a problem unless we hit the stupid Deep Dark again. Okay, so this is now difficulty 3 agility test. And if we fail, we take 2 damage. So the thing is, I could just beat it with 3 aces. The thing is that I don't think it's at all relevant, because taking 2 damage doesn't do anything to Mandy. We can just Solemn Vow it over to Tommy, who can deal with it. And we want the 3 aces to use the deduction here to get all our clues we need. So, Sting Scourge. Okay, all your items are blank. And if you were poisoned, it also surges. It lasts for 1 round. So this is fine. Sorry, in my hurry, we completely skipped out the fact that I still had to fill this test at some point. Well, and I do. So that's good. It's like, I completely forgot that I actually had to fill the test. Wait, we're not moving with our actions. Pathfinder. Solemn Vow, move this damage back over to Tommy, who's running out of soaks here. Come on, Tommy, do your job. Then investigate. Commit 3 copies of 3. Actually, wait, no, we're gonna rook first. Always rook first. Searching 9, picking 2. using her ability. Because we have one more Astounding Revelation in there, which I wanted to find and put a charge back on Rook. And then we get to pick whatever we feel like. I'll pick this second Practice Makes Perfect. And I actually noticed we have an extra we have a deduction and perception left in here, so we can safely use Practice Makes Perfect as well. And we'll grab the Cryptic Research, why not? Okay, put those back. There's 5 cards left. We'll investigate. We'll play Practice Makes Perfect, which lets us pick. I would like to have the. Oh wait, hold on. I am now. Yes, we are now investigating. Practice Makes Perfect, grabbing the. Come on, where are you? The deduction. And then commits 3 copies of 3 aces as well. Yeah, so this test is automatically successful. I believe I don't have to do anything else at the moment. Oh, hold on. So the 3 aces go into the bin. I draw 3 cards, gain 3 resources. Deduction gets me an extra clue, and I also don't have to discard it because of Practice Makes Perfect. I got to add it to my hand. So awesome on that. And there was, right, yeah. And I just cleared a 5-shard location because this is a static effect. So I'm pretty sure, yeah. So we just use Crack the Case twice, and we'll get 5 resources, and we'll give Tommy 5 resources. So you can see we can distribute those resources if we want, and we won't need. Yeah, we're not too needy. So that was our first action. We now have the clues required to advance. We have the snake here, but that's not a problem. We can evade that with the pendant. Let's do that now before we forget it. Also, if we can... So we have 1 card left in our deck. Normally, you're not allowed to shuffle a single card back into your deck because there are some weaknesses that would then cause an infinite, or basically cause your deck to always be that one weakness. Like imagine Rookie Mistake, which is the Tommy weakness. If you had no cards with damage or horror soaks, if that was the only card in your deck, you would keep ending up drawing it, and you would never be able to break that without drawing multiple cards at once. So there is a rule that you cannot shuffle a single card. However, you can shuffle multiple cards. So if we can break the pendant with 0 cards in our deck becomes 3 copies of the Segment of Onyx. Which, yes, that is as broken as it sounds. We're going to, yeah, so we used the charge to select an enemy over here, evade it. We're going to use Cryptic Research to make Tommy draw 3 cards. Awesome. We're going to Pathfinder over here, which is where we need to be. We are actually just going to sit here for two actions, I guess. I don't have too much else to do. I could explore, but I believe those are wasted, so I'll just spend 2 actions gaining resources. We don't actually want to draw cards at the moment, so yeah. Over on Tommy's side, play the Spiritual Vow, play a new Enchanted Blade. I believe I did that correctly. And then move over to the steps. Okay. Enemy phase, this guy's exhausted. Upkeep, ready everything. Ready everything. Drawing a card, it's another Rook. Gain a resource. Draw a card. Gain a resource. If I'm not mistaken, we can now advance. Spend 6 clues. So I'll pause again and I'll be back with you in a minute. And we're back at depth level 3. We've actually got a really bad starting location. We got the Broken Passage, which is when we explore here, we don't have a pickaxe, so we'll get 1 Doom. Fortunately, it's not going to matter because we're about to head into 3 out of 4 Doom. Just also making sure, is Mandy over hand size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She totally is. Let's commit. Let's discard that. Right, there's no other duplicates. Yeah, okay. Alright, so the Mythos phase. 3 Doom out of 4. The Pip Warden has joined his brother in the, or their brother, I guess, in the victory display, or in the pursuit area. We get Servant's Call. We can either get poisoned or draw 2 encounter cards. We'll draw 2 encounter cards. Snake Scourge, all of our items are blank. That's interesting because we actually have a lot of those. Right? The Magnifying Glass is an item, the Dream Anon's Serum is an item, the Pendant is an item. Then our second card is Serpent's Ire. Okay, we find the enemy in the pursuit area with the highest fight value. It's going to be one of the Pit Wardens. And spawn it. If their enemy spawn, test Agility X, where X is the enemy's fight value. If you fail, the enemy immediately attacks us. So we have to test equal to their fight value? Yeah, okay. Well, this guy should have 2 damage. He got punched, evaded twice. We'll grab this Pit Warden, the one that hasn't been punched, evaded yet. We'll test Agility 4. Do I bother trying to pass this test? Yeah, I probably do. Although tokens are getting a little tricky at this point. No, we won't. We'll just commit. Oh wait, no, this is the Performing Investigator, isn't it? Yes, we don't want Mandy to draw cards or gain resources. So we'll just fail. We do indeed fail. Take another damage and another horror. All right, then on to Tony or Tommy. I keep making that mistake. It's a bit awkward. Another Brudevig. Excellent. We'll kill that. Well, our items are all blank, so the awesome pendant is slightly less awesome at the moment. But that's no reason to not have any fun with this. Okay. Attack with the Enchanted Blade, chuck in a vicious blow. Let's get to work. -3. How high is the Vengeance at this point? It's only the -1 because of the... Wait, hold on. No, this is Depth level. It's not Vengeance. Oh, wait. Yeah. So this is a 3 and this is a -3. So we hit. Sorry, there's a lot of modifiers going on and I have to keep them all straight because I don't want to cheat in my, let's see how overpowered these investigators are videos, because that would be really weird. Second action, we're going to engage the Pit Warden. And last action, we are going to attempt to evade it. And we're going to autofill. Okay, that's perfectly fine. The thing is going to hit us. We can use it to kill the guard dog and then just, get some stuff back. We can also use Survival Knife so that we actually get to attack it for 3 damage, or basically get to deal 3 damage to it. We could kill it if we don't mind the Vengeance, which maybe we don't. Over on Mandy's side, the first thing we're going to do... Okay, so we can't break the pendant right now. We also can't put the Occult Evidence back in our deck. This is all gone a little bit poor, but that's fine. Just gonna explore. We put a Doom here. We find, not that. Yes, that. It is the Bridge over Enkai. And it gets +1 Shroud for every Vengeance point. Why doesn't that spawn tokens? Are you sure that's supposed to spawn tokens at this point? Oh well. Yeah, so this is a 3 Shroud location right now. It used to be... It was a little tougher upstairs where there were a lot of temples we desecrated. Well, if we can't get the whole thing anyway, we'll just use the normal tricks. Investigate, commit Perception, Deduction, Eureka. We can't use Practice Makes Perfect because our deck is empty. Actually curious, no, let's go. Okay, so -2, that should easily suffice. Triggers, resolve, following order. I will grab 2 clues here. I will then resolve Perception, attempt to draw from empty deck. Take 1 horror, draw. Oh, we shuffle this back into our deck. Resolve Eureka, I will only search 3. And resolve 1, the normal. Get the Practice Makes Perfect. Use it to trigger Dream Anon's Serum, draw another card. Okay, excellent. And I believe that's it for now. Are we on our second action? Yeah, we investigated and we explored. Yeah, third action is just going to be explore. Let's see another location. That's the bridge. We just connected from here, so I'm gonna go over here. Which is a shame because I really wanted to do some shenanigans with Rook. I guess I can still do them. I'm probably gonna hit an encounter card though, and I don't necessarily want that. Let's run the gambit. Searching 12. So using the search 9 option and then using Mandy's ability to make it a little deeper. I'm just gonna try to hit my weakness. And I didn't, question mark? Huh, had not seen that coming. Okay, so the last card in our deck right there is our weakness. Or wait, did I already hit the weakness? Oh no, yeah, I did, but I shuffled it back in, so. Curious. We'll get the correct case, those are usually pretty good. I'm not grabbing the 3 aces because I'm just gonna use those, or just gonna grab those with the... Oh wait, sorry, hold on, I'm cheating, aren't I? I don't get to grab the correct case because I only get to grab 1 card. But I do get to grab the Cryptic Research, which I could fire off right now. Nah, I think I'm good. So enemy phase, norms. On the guard dog. Guard dog takes the hit, dies valiantly, dishing out 1 damage back to the snake. Snake can't get Horda. And then gives Tommy a bunch of money. And he gets shuffled back in, and then we get to use Survival Knife. Attack with a +2 combat, +1 damage attack. Hit, deal another 2 damage. Don't think I'm gonna kill him just yet. I might do it later though. Although I guess I want it to be ready in upkeep. So yeah, no, I'm just gonna straight up fight this one. This does mean I might end up regretting the vengeance, but here we are. Yeah, upkeep. Aces, flips, okay. 3 aces. We don't have any of those in our hand, so we don't get to use Dream and Not Serum just yet. Draw a card, gain a resource. Mythos phase. We advance. Oh, this also draws. Okay, things are probably going to start escalating now that we're hitting the higher thresholds. The path ahead is blocked by a sheer rock cliff. You start to search for a way around them when suddenly hisses and shrieks emerge from behind you, and the area is bathed in orange firelight. The serpents are coming. One of you must climb to safety and pull the others up. Find the enemy and pursue the highest fate value. Spawn it where the investigators begin at this step level. Well, I guess we're having another snake party. Tommy? The lead investigator chooses one investigator to be the group's scout. Then the investigator checks his or her supplies. If they have a rope, there's no problem. If they don't, they have to test agility or combat 5. If we fail, we suffer a physical trauma. Here's the thing though, trauma doesn't matter in standalone, because it's not actually dealing any damage, it's just dealing out trauma. So I'll have Tommy take the test and I'll test agility with take hard committed. We totally fail. Oh, I guess we have to put a... Oh, no. We'll put a clue on our location, which, whatever, we don't really care about that. Draw 2 cards. Gain 2 resources. And I guess we'll have to record somewhere in our non-existent campaign log that Tommy has a mental or physical trauma now. Alrighty. Now, the City of Blood. The caverns are no longer quiet. The angry cries and rattling of serpent creatures is all around you now, urging you onward. The cavern's unnatural red glow becomes more intense. In this red light, the city of Yoth takes on another guise, no longer a source of hidden knowledge, but a place of animosity that resents your mere presence. Which is good. Good description. And we have a bird. That's perfectly fine. And we have children, so enemies get a little tougher. Okay. Practice makes perfect. Yeah. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do here. So I'm gonna start with Mandy, which might be a little counterintuitive, but there's a reason for that. I'm going to activate Rook, search 9 deep, and not get extra cards. I need to hit the weakness here. And I did. Good. So we get an extra encounter card. Which is, ooh, this might throw my plans into a disarray a bit. Did I actually check hand size last turn? I think I'm way over hand size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm way over hand size, so I'll just discard cards that I had. I'm sorry, I keep thinking that Dream and Haunting Serum means I have enough hand size, but I actually don't if they're all different cards. So in response to Lost in the Wilds, I'll Cryptic Research myself for 3. Draw 3 cards, excellent. That's one of the cards I need. And then I'll just chuck some willpower icons in there. So we'll chuck a rook in there, and we'll chuck a Dream-Melting Serum in there. So we're up by 2. Let's make it up by 3. The skulls are -3 after all. -5. Okay, so we still fail. Take 2 hover. Need to keep that in check because that's gonna go poorly. Okay. Now, first action, evade the Brother Yik. Practice makes perfect. Not going to actually use Mandy's ability, I think, or do I? I don't know if there's enough targets left. You know what? I don't think I have any other searches this turn. That's not true. I might be able to search for something else. Yeah, let's not waste a youth either way. So we're gonna find. You guys in practice, so no, it's innate. We're going to find 3 aces. We also found a Astounding Revelation, so we can just recharge Rook real quick. As you can see, Rook basically never runs out. 3 aces, commit the other 2 3 aces, and we're evading this guy. So we automatically succeed on the evade, draw 3 cards, gain 3 resources. Oh, we did trigger Dream-Melting Serum, draw a card from that. Nice, we can do that if we want to. Although maybe we don't want to, because we're out of deck again, and we're going through our horror pretty quickly. We might have to just kill Rook at some point and flip back. Could also start, like, teleport over to Tommy's location. Think second action I'm going to... Oh wait, actually, hold on, I can't move. Right, I forgot about that. So my plan was pretty awesome. I was going to... you know, either teleport to Tommy or one of those trees should be in my hand. Teleport over to Tommy or Pathfinder over, and then use Solemn Vow, use the pendant to evade this thing. Problematically, we can't do any of that because, well, we can still evade, but we can't move. So we'll use the pendant. Pendant breaks. 3 copies. No. 3 copies get shuffled back into our deck. Which, speaking of 3 copies, interesting. Yeah, why not? So this thing is evaded. Easy mark. 2 resources, draw. 2 resources, draw. 2 resources, draw. We know what we're getting, so we're then going to reassemble the pendant for 3 resources. Okay, and now we have to actually figure out what we're doing other than that. We have 1 action left. This one actually kind of hurt a lot, this Lost in the Wilds, because, well, we need to get that horror off of us, and I was hoping to do it at Tommy's, but we can't now. I'll just spend the action resource, because we don't want to draw cards, and we're kind of stuck here anyway. Okay, Tommy's gonna move. Over to here. He's then gonna accept one of Mandy's horror. And he's going to explore. Yes, that is connecting. Only to here, so we'll put it over there. This is the thing where if it doesn't have any clues on it, it counts as vengeance, which at this point, not too worried about. Yeah, so upkeep, readies and engages Mandy. Mandy takes another horror. Okay. So Coop Theory will be that this showcase is going to get a little cut short by Mandy spontaneously erupting into death. If that happens, I think you still have seen how awesome she is. If you have it, if that doesn't happen, well, we might get to go for a little bit longer. I don't want to maybe play this entirely out because it's going a bit longer than I initially expected. Oh, it's just a Fang of Yik. We'll be fine. We might not be fine. Oh, this might be terrible. Yeah. Okay, so we would fail, but we have a lucky, so we'll pass. Excellent. Now, these two want to kind of switch places. Oh, this is also gone. This is also gone. Sorry, there's a lot of cards left in the play area that should be discarded already. Yeah. I think Tommy would do well just to kill one of the snakes. And he can go first, yeah. He'll move. Attempt to stab the non-retaliate enemy, which does have combat 4, but we got this daring, and we have a vicious blow. Hit. Kill it. Oh, draw a card from the daring as well. I don't know if I remember that last time. I might have. Let's use Solemn Vow on Mandy. Which you can have multiples, by the way. I didn't realize this at first. I was like, oh, it's one per investigator. No. You can have as many as you want. I mean, there's only 3 in the deck, but yeah. So we're going to use both of those to put... let's put 1 horror on the keepsake and 1 horror on the beat cop, which kills the keepsake. It's only another 2 resources, and brings Mandy out of immediate death zone, which is nice. I did attack with the survival knife, right? I think I forgot to pay the charge on that. Attack again, survival knife, enchant the blade, stab with the stab the Fang Yig. -2, that should hit. There's only effect on an if you fail, so that's fine. Deals 2 damage, and then exhaust beat cop. Is that limit what's around? No, it isn't. So we'll gain another 4 resources, bringing us up to 19. Should play Dynamite Blast at some point, and killing this snake as well. So we're cleaning up the snakes. So that was move, attack, if I'm not mistaken. And then it's over to Mandy's go, who needs to flex a bit. Time to get some clues. Explore from here. Is that a wise idea? There's 2 cards left in the deck. I don't know what either of them are, I believe. But I will need to find something if I want to get enough clues. But let's give it a go. Explore. Is this connecting? Yes, I believe it is. It is also connected to this one. So let's put it over here. It is the Hall of Heresy. While we're in here, it's considered to be in the victory display, so, well, lots of vengeance. Yes, okay. Well, this is basically perfect. The only thing I wish I had was a Approximate Perfect, but we don't have one of those because they're both in the deck. But that's fine, we'll get there. Investigate. Actually, hold on, we can just rook first. Let's rook first. Let's search for 2 cards. Why not? Nice. Get the charge back as normal. Get 1 copy of 3 aces and a practice makes perfect. Come on, Rook. Get in here. Back into the deck you go. We drew a card we already had, so Dream Not Serum. There's Rook again. Then we'll investigate. Commit Standing Revelation, Deduction, Perception, and Eureka. 0, we took Feed. That is discarded. That just draws me a card. That gets back in. This searches 3. We'll find the Practice Perfect. Tabletop, please. And we'll grab 2 clues here. Then we'll Pathfinder over here. We'll investigate. Play Practice Makes Perfect. I really thought that would have whiffed. Okay. Well, I mean, we did. Okay, so we can either grab the deduction or the perception. We also got the occult evidence. So we'll just use occult evidence to pick up 1 clue. And then we'll just grab the perception instead. Seems like the safer bet here because it's just a slightly higher intellect bonus. Come on, come on. There you go. I didn't actually check if there was a 3 aces in there. If there was, I probably should have grabbed that instead, but yeah, here we are. So yeah, we got 1 clue for free here. And yeah, okay. Elder Sign, search for 3. Oh, we cancel the search. And we draw an encounter card. Okay, pit warden, which goes into the threat area or the pursuit area. Then we succeed. We draw a card of perception, which goes into our hand. We draw an astounding revelation. Sure, whatever. We get the clue. We Pathfinder over here. We didn't even get to use our pendant. That's a shame. Did I miss a clue somewhere? Pick up 2 here, pick up 2 here, pick up 2. Pretty sure she should be at 6. Maybe I just didn't click properly. Yeah, okay. So that's her turn. Let's go to upkeep. Well, I guess technically let's go to enemy phase, but this thing just hunts over here and doesn't do anything. I don't believe it has any shorter routes in the meantime, so... Okay. I'll tell you what I think of doing. Since this video is probably going to be long enough as it is already, well, let's just get yourself back in. I'll continue until I hit 5, which would be as far as you normally go, and then I'll pause and end the recording, actually, because I need a break. But if the video that you're currently watching is pretty popular, I might play. I'll keep the tabletop simulator save, and I'll just play on from here. Servant from Yoth. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm missing a step. We are advancing again, of course. So let's do that first. So see you in a minute. Because we have 6 clues, we're at the steps. That's... yeah. So see you in a minute. Okay, there we are again. So here's the Hall of Heresy. Force Shroud, and it is counted as being a victory display for vengeance. As long as we're here, well, we have to be here right now. And then we'll draw the Serpent. Kinda got ahead of myself there for a moment. This is just one of the victory enemies, so we might try to kill that. Although Tony's out of ammo. Oh, and we're gonna draw more snakes. Let's draw the big bit for Warden, just for funsies. Actually, hold on, we have to find the highest fight value. Yeah, so they're about the same. So yeah, we'll find the big snake. And then we have to take an agility test. Commit, take heart. Oh, huh. Well, we have no damage or horror at all, but we do pass, so that's nice. Don't get to draw anything, but don't get punched either, which is nice. Yeah, let's see what we can do here, right? Time for Mandy shenanigans. Pendant, exhaust this. Let's move some horror off Mandy onto Tommy's spiritual vow or spiritual resolve. Let's so I have to check. I believe I just hit the shocking discovery, so the way's cleared there. I have 7 cards left in my deck. These are all important. This is all important information. I'm going to. How many deductions have I hit? Have I played both of them already? No, only one. Perfect. Okay. First action: investigate. Commit practice makes perfect. Find the deduction and the 3 aces. Commit the other 2 3 aces. Draw 3 cards. Gain 3 resources. One of those goes back into my hand. Get 2 clues here. See, we're getting the hang of it. We found a card we already had a copy of. So draw another card. Nice, the cryptic. Probably gonna give that to Tommy. Let's do that right now, actually. So cryptic on Tommy, draw 3 cards. Probably gonna hit his weakness. Nope, actually. Okay, awesome. Let's move along and explore. Finding the forked path, which again, we don't get to do anything special with because it requires us to have a pickaxe, which we don't. Or not the pickaxe, the map, I think. Yeah, so shame there, but we don't get to use it. We do get to pick up a bunch of clues here though, which is also good. We have 1 action left. Figure I can make that like 5 or 6 clues. No, joking. Mostly joking. Investigate, commit perception, commit Eureka, commit deduction. I should have a deduction in here. Why do I not have a deduction in here? Did I discard it by accident? Yes, I did. This should be in my hand. Because practice makes perfect. I have already used my ability though, so we'll see how useful this is. Ooh, that's a high shot, but we still make it. Okay, so draw 1 card. I actually shouldn't have drawn that card first because now I can't get to use Eureka. Whoops, always make sure to check that you're not drawing from an empty deck, or not going to empty deck. This actually should still be in my discard pile until I draw. Get 2 clues. Yeah, so today the biggest challenge is making sure that your deck isn't empty and also getting horror away from drawing through your deck too much. Am I okay with this being... Yeah, this is probably enough. Over to Tommy. He's gonna try to get away from the snake. Elder Thing. Autofail because vengeance. Second try. Autofail because actual autofail. Do we go 3 for 3 here? We've got another enemy here, so maybe we don't. Yeah, we'll just move. Last action move. We'll take an attack of opportunity. 1 damage here, 1 horror here. We're totally fine on both fronts, so, you know. That's Tommy's benefit. This is only during the enemy phase, so we'll do that in a minute. Upkeep. Or well, enemy phase. This guy hits attacks again. Yeah, well, let's get the Spiritual Resolve back into the deck. So get 5 more resources. I would have liked to find Becky at some point, because you can turn those resources into ammo, which is getting to be a bit of a problem. Anyway, attempt to stab. Successfully stab, I believe. Take 2 damage. Alrighty. Upkeep. Take another horror. Going on to Tony's way. Into Tony's direction at some point again. I have to check hand size. Now let's try to act like we're not breaking the game too hard. I mean, we are, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're actually on their hands, or at hand size rather. It did shuffle, right? We all saw that. Anyway, it follows 3 out of 4. Giving poison. Nobody's poisoned, so that just searches. Ill Omen. Choose location with at least 1 investigator. It's gonna be ours. Put a doom there. Everybody's there. Takes a horror. Okay. Tommy also taking a horror. Like a shadow. Okay, we're about to take some damage over here. Oh boy, we're also about to heal some snakes over here. Unless we draw... hold on. So we're depth level 4, so this is difficulty 5. But this is only... we're 1 point short. Okay, otherwise we could have luckied into the win. But no, okay, so we heal 2 damage from here. We take 2 damage ourselves. Obviously those 2 things are connected. Yes, so on to today's happenings. Mandy's having to decide what the shortest road to victory is. It's probably some PS, so let's do it. For 9, not using Mandy's ability. Find a weakness. Excellent. So as you can see, this is a pretty reliable way of drawing 2 encounter cards a turn. Now, if that bothers you, oh, we got another woman. You can always just make sure to have a investigator who can bring cancels instead. So Tommy is pretty resilient, but doesn't actually have any cancels. If you bring someone like Diana, like this is not a problem. Right, I do actually have to check if I should, yeah, so, oh actually no. We're just gonna advance anyway next turn, so I don't necessarily have to hurry. Yeah, let's investigate. Practice makes perfect. For 2 cards. There's a small chance I miss. I want. I don't have the second 3 aces, but I'll throw the first one in so I can grab the last one when I find it. We also got Astounding Grabs, of course, so put the charge back on Rook. So you can actually see Rook is not actually being used as a search engine himself as much. I'm actually using him much more for getting the weakness out of the way so I can use Practice Make Perfect, which is actually something I have to credit user Kuherder, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but in the Discord for, because he mentioned that earlier and he said, you know, you really should be just doing that. And he's right. We draw an autofail. Well, can't do anything about that. If the test is successful, isn't it? All this stuff goes into the bin. I don't want it there. Annoying. Let's play some easy marks. Actually, let's not. Let's think about this for a second. We can automatically get a clue with pendant. So we just investigate. I'll throw in the 3 easy marks for icons. -4. We make that. Use the pendant. Get a clue here. So I believe we have now achieved clue force 6. And we will explore. I believe I should actually have taken 2 action already, so this is my last action. Is this connecting? I can't actually tell from here. Yes, it is. Awesome. I get to show off the crumbling precipice, which is like low-key one of my favorite locations in this entire game. Force, when you attempt to explore while at crumbling precipice, test willpower 4. If you fail, test agility 3. If you fail, test combat 2. If you fail, fall to your death and killed. It is such a good moment, right? Can you keep the focus? Can you keep your balance? Can you grab yourself at the edge? And if you can't, it's game over. You just straight up killed, which is pretty nasty. I mean, that's nastier than what happens in Dunwich even. Okay, over to Tommy. Deal evade. That's a -4. So no way we're passing that. Again, -5. Tommy's having what we call not great luck. Last action, provoke attack of opportunity, play spiritual resolve. We will have to take the attack on ourselves because it happened before we played the spiritual resolve. But we can now use this to soak both hits, which is pretty useful. Upkeep, or enemy phase rather, sorry. Moves here, damage, horror, damage, horror. This thing has Hunter and also takes 1 less damage at this point, I think, because we have lots of Vengeance. Oh, we only have 2 Vengeance, so because there's nobody here anymore. So it just Hunters and retaliates. Gain 5 resources. Now you'd be forgiven for thinking that the Tommy deck is actually the overpowered deck if you look at the fact that it has 28 resources as a Guardian. But really that's just Mandy being insane and giving him several draw frees with Cryptic Research. Upkeep. Our doggo. We advance. The Sleeper's Pursuit. The shrill noise of hundreds of snake rattle suddenly erupts throughout the cavern. You have crossed into territory that humanity was never meant to enter. The ear-splitting alarm pierces your eardrums and causes your ears to bleed. Your senses are overwhelmed and you cover your ears in vain. You cannot hear your own thoughts. Finally, the warning ends and you are left with uncontrollable urge to flee. However, you know that if you fled now, your action would endanger all of humanity. Bravely, or perhaps foolishly, you press onwards. So the Harbinger of Velusia isn't set aside in standalone, so we can ignore that, but then we still have to find the Pit Warden, and I believe we spawned it, yeah, where we began. So in the Hall Heresy. Lone supplies, we'll take a damage. Actually, what am I saying? We'll take 2 resources. We both have 20 plus resources. Also, Tommy doesn't actually have any folks at the moment. It's going a bit poorly over there. That's fine, nobody's poisoned. Come on. Ooh, this could be nasty, because this could be the end for Tommy. That's awkward. -3. I don't believe I can pass that. This test gets plus difficulty. We are at difficulty 5. Nope, not even with the lucky. So Tommy gets horrored out and is defeated. So he's now got a physical trauma and a mental trauma from this, I suppose. And Mandy has a couple of snakes on her tail. Okay. Well, this is basically what I expected would happen, though I expected it to be a little later. Whatever. Explore. We found the steps. This actually puts Mandy in somewhat of a tricky position, because if she just... Okay, oh actually no, this is not connected. So these snakes aren't going to hit her. This one's going to hit her, but that won't kill her. So we could dance here all day, but what I'm actually going to do is spend 2 actions, I guess, getting resources or shuffling this back in. Take your pick. This hunts and attacks her, which kills Rook. Rook has fallen, I repeat, Rook has fallen. And then we will advance. And if this were campaign play, we would have won right now. It isn't. But I am going to stop it there, mostly because, I mean, obviously with Tommy dead, it won't be long before Mandy goes crazy as well, because she has nowhere to soak extra horror now. But also just, I don't think it's going to be much fun to keep watching me play this. I'm personally feeling like I'm reaching the end of my focus, my capacity. Thank you for watching. I hope you saw what this Mandy deck was capable of. I think it's insane. I really think Taboo is going to hit this deck pretty hard. It's to me, it seems like it's more powerful than Rex, pre-Taboo Rex was at his prime. Part of that, of course, that we have a much bigger card pool now, so we can do more crazy stuff. But just in general, these cards seem insane and much more powerful than they were supposed to be. So yeah, I'm expecting a Taboo there. If you enjoyed this, thank you very much. Please leave a comment or anything. I'll be making more videos in the future. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll be seeing you until the end of time.